Hello and welcome with another video. So today is the first experimental day of BS Part 3 and MSc previous students. My students are working. It's Monday and it's almost 8:45 a.m. So my students are working. I'm going to let them, I'm going to make them learn how to make the journal, because this is the first day they won't be knowing how to start with experimental number 1, how to record all the readings, how to record the data. So I'm going to explain them how to do it. So I'm going to tell you, this is the scheme, right? This is your scheme, right? And I told you on page number 23 you are going to start your this semester's work, right? So they told you, as I just explained you, that you are going to identify an organic compound. So you have now a known organic compound. Today we are going to start, as I told you in your demonstration, that you are going to start with a known organic compound. So today I'm going to give you para-nitroacetanilide. I think it's lying here. This is para-nitroacetanilide. Just see, it's a white powder. It's a white powder, right? You can see it's a white powder, right? You can see only its appearance, and it is, you know, it doesn't have thicker granules. No, it's just, you know, in a powder form, right? So but we know the name, that is para-nitroacetanilide. That means the nitro group is attached at the para position on this compound, right? So this is what we know up till now, and we know the color. Let's inhale. It has almost up to no smell, no odor. Okay, so whatever recordings, now keep that in your mind, whatever recordings, whatever findings you are going to get from your compound, whatever information you are getting, you are going to record it down on your journal. So this is your chemistry journal, right? This is the first page. How you are going to start? You are going to start, come here, and so that you can see experiment number 1. Step number 1. Here you are going to write down step number 1, right? What is step number 1? Preliminary examination. Now, as I just explained you, preliminary examination throws light, or it gives you an idea about the general nature of your organic compound, whether your compound is a solid. It's a solid, right? Right now we have a solid compound, right? Whether it's a liquid, what color it has white color, right? So now what you're going to do anyone has a scale? Anyone has a scale? Just give me a scale. Because after writing down preliminary examination, you are going to make 3 columns, as just like this. You are going to make the 3 columns. I'm going to draw it because you people do it with your own way, and that's not the correct one. This is preliminary examination. You are going to adopt the same format. You have to write down the date. Also today is 30th? Yes. 30th, 1st and 2023. So this is the Bismillah of our Bismillah Rahman, right? Now we are going to start. Make the 3 columns just like as they are in your schemes. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing it because you people get a bit confused. This is the first time you are making, so that's why you are going to write down experiment, observation. What does that mean? The observation, your observation. What does that mean? Your observation. The observation here written, it's not that. It's what you are going to match from here and what you observe. You're going to record that finding over here, okay? And the inference or the results. Inference, what does that mean? Inference or results, right? Now here they have written, now for example, you will write down number 1, test number 1, physical state. Under the physical state, they have 2 options, solid or a liquid. We have solid. What? Solid. Loudly? Solid. So what you are going to write here? Solid. That means we are not recording as it is written over here. We are observing from the compound being given to us, right? Okay, fine. So now under the category of solids, which compounds come? They are saying carbohydrates, phenols, aromatic acids, amides and analytes only. I have added a little sentence, may be present, right? Because this is a preliminary examination. This is a very initial examination. This is the very, start of knowing this compound. Though we know it is para-nitroacetanilide, Why I've given you a known compound? Because you know what type of a compound it is. If you just Google it, you will get all the description of this compound. What is the structure? What is the molecular formula? How many functional groups are attached with this compound, right? You know everything about it, right? Which form it is in, it's a solid state, right? So now what you're going to do, maybe present means that we are right now still not sure. We are assuming, though we know it, that it's an known compound, because I have provided you a known compound. Why I'm saying that may be present, because next time you will be given a unknown one. So you won't be knowing about the nature of the compound, the name of the compound, and anything regarding the compound, right? So for that, you have to write down all these things: carbohydrates, phenols, aromatic acids, amides, analytes may be present. This is your inference or the result. In this same way, you're going to write down number second. You'll jump to the second step, which is the color. C-O-L-O-R, color. Now we know it's white in color. This is white in color, so you simply write down white. Now which categories of the compounds comes under, you will write down everything and you will add it over here, may be present, right? Here also, with every result you have to write down may be present. And now the third step is odor. Now pleasant smell, then you have these options. Fishy smell, you have amines, bitter almonds, you have these benzaldehyde compounds, and pungent, causing that those who will cause some irritation in your nasal area. These are the chloro compounds. So you will just inhale, you will try to smell it, and you are going to write down. And if you don't find anything, just write down no smell, neutral, whatever, and then don't write anything in the inference. You are not supposed to write anything. Then you will jump to the next page, which is your litmus test. Now they have given, you have to write down litmus test is number 4. Litmus test. You will write down the whole test. Take small amount of the given compound in 2 ml water or ethyl alcohol, shake well, and then test with a litmus paper. Simple. You will just take 1 to 2 ml in a test tube. If it's a test tube, 1 to 2 ml in a test tube. Do you have a test tube? Yes. So 1 to 2 ml, you will just add little bit of the compound like this. It's a not a quantitative analysis. It's a qualitative analysis. So you do not need to measure anything. Just add this compound, and then you will add, with the help of a measuring cylinder, add 1 ml or half ml, 1 ml or 2 ml of ethyl alcohol if it's there, or water, distilled water. Water doesn't mean tap water. Always distilled water, right? And then you are going to shake it, and then see if it's getting dissolved at the room temperature. If it's not getting at the room temperature, if it is getting dissolved, just write it down. No, it's not a solubility, sorry. When it gets dissolved, what you are going to do, you have 2 litmus papers, blue litmus paper, red litmus paper, blue and red. You are going to take out a strip, एक छोटी सी strip दे मुझे कट करके पेपर की, छोटी सी strip दे जो इसके अंदर चली जाए आराम से. Does he give you litmus paper?
No.
Okay. पानी को बंद करो, पानी. Go and close the tap. You get a litmus paper from Ada. Go and get a litmus paper from Ada. Ask him to give anyone. I will tell you how to do the litmus test. Chalo. If, for example, if this is your litmus paper, right? You will not ये भी मिल गया आपको. Chalo, good. Now what you are going to do, when you have that compound that is dissolved totally, you will just simply insert this litmus paper inside this, and it should be immersed inside this solvent. You will tilt it a bit and let it be inside for a while, and then take it out and put it over here, right? And just see the color. If this red litmus paper turns to blue, then it's a basic compound. If a blue then you will try the same test with the blue litmus paper, with the same solvent, with the same compound and the same solution you have made, right? And then you will immerse the blue one, and you will get the results, right? So para-nitroacetylene, what does this compound it is? It is acidic or basic? Let's check today. You will check it out, okay? Pakad le usko, because you are going to do it. Then you are going to do the ignition test. After doing this test, you will do the ignition test. Ignition test. Go and get a ignition spatula. इनसे एक spatula लेकर आए. अच्छा spatula दिया इन्होंने आपको. Okay. Now how you are going to do the ignition test? You will take a small amount of the compound over the tip of the spatula. Okay, this is the tip of the spatula. This is the wrong side I am using. These have, you can use it either way. You can use it either way, no problem. But this is better. A little bit compound over a spatula, over this spatula, right? This is it. ये भी अभी ज़्यादा लिया मैंने. Just focus on this. How much I am taking. This much is enough. Okay, this much amount is enough. Now, if you have a burner over here, what you are going to do? This burner को बाहर निकालें. You are going to directly, if this is on, you are going to directly heat on the this flame, right? Over this flame, you are going to heat it. Now, what will happen? Fumes will come out. First of all, it's gonna get dissolved, and then what will happen? The fumes will come out. Now, you are going to observe the color of those fumes. I told you in my demo, if you have white fumes, we call fumes as white. We suppose them as white, so it's an aliphatic compound, right? But if it has a dark colored, a soot, that means it's an aromatic compound. You will write down over here, burn with a sooty flame or aromatic or highly unsaturated. They have given us the options. Burn with the sooty flame, aliphatic, aliphatic nahi hai, aromatic compounds. More colorless, this option is wrong. This option is wrong, burn with a sooty flame. Burn with a whitish flame, then this would be an aliphatic compound, right? And if it burns with a blackish, you can say soot, then it's an aromatic compound, right? So we have an aromatic compound, para-nitroacetylene, it's an aromatic compound. So the color of soot, it is going to give you black. Black means soot. Because why we call it? Because it's just, the carbons, a lot of carbons are there in your compound. So when they get burned, they give you the black color, right? This is the why it's happening. Okay, so this is the scheme. This is how you are going to perform the ignition test. You will write down this small test over here and on this journal. Write down. You will make the columns, turn the page and make the columns again. Again on this. ऐसे journals नहीं लेने चाहिए, लेकिन this journal is not good. It has the rough pages in it. Then you are going to do the solubility test. Number 5th and number 6th. Number 6th. Solubility test. Now, what is a solubility test? You are going to check the solubility of your compound in different solvents. Now, as I have mentioned you that whether you have to check it starting from distilled water, right? First of all, take a small amount of distilled water, that is 1 ml, inside it. Put few granules of your compound. Try to dissolve it in the room temperature, at the room temperature. If it's getting dissolved, fine. Just write it down in the observation, getting dissolved. In the results, you write down at the room temperature, right? So if it's not, and dissolved in what? You have to write down the solvents. Dissolved in ethanol, dissolved in water, dissolved in chlorobenzene, dissolved in benzene, dissolved in hexane, dissolved in whatsoever. Just go and have a check on the solvents that are being provided over here. The solvents are over here, or maybe on this, or maybe ask from Ada. He will give you the few solvents that are available. So just check your solubility of your compound in those solvents, and then check the solubility in an acid, any strong acid. You can take hydrochloric acid, or you can concentrate it from, or a sulfuric acid if it's there. I don't think so. Sulfuric acid we have. I don't think so. And then you will check this. After that, you will check the solubility. And every time you have to discard the solvent. Take a very small amount, half ml of a solvent, not more than that, because you are just discarding the solvents every time. When you use water, you check the solubility, you will discard water. When you will use ethyl alcohol, half ml, you need to discard it. So take very small amount of the compound just to observe the solubility and check the solubility. If it's, for example, if it's not dissolving in the room temperature, what you are going to do?
Heat.
We will warm it on over the flame with the help of a spatula. If this is a spatula, just hold it, and if this is a burner, just put it like that, right? Try to give it a little warm, a little temperature should be raised, right? And then just check the solubility, whether on warming. Then you have to record the findings. If it gets dissolved on the over the this flame, what you are going to write down? Warming, dissolved at after warming, dissolved after warming over the flame, right? This is it. And if it's get dissolved at the room temperature, just write it down, dissolved at the room temperature, right? In this way, you are going to check the solubility of the compounds. Then you have the unsaturation test. You need to check your compounds. You know what is saturation, what is unsaturation? I hope everyone knows. Yes. Alkane, alkene, alkyne. If you just jump to those, you will get the idea what is saturation, what is unsaturation. Just check the solubility. Now they told us about the compound's nature. The way how you're going to check the solubility. Solution of the compound plus 5 drops of alkaline potassium permanganate. Now solution of the compound. What does that mean? Solution of the compound. Your camera? Where is your camera? Solution of the compound. What does that mean?
Compound dissolved.
How you are going to make the solution? In which solvent you are going to make the solution? Now
Distilled water.
Why distilled water?
Because of no impurities in it.
No, you just check the solubility of the compound. In the previous test, you checked the solubility. So now I'm giving you a hint also. In which solvent you are going to dissolve your compound for this unsaturation test? How to make the solution? 1 ml solution. How you will make? Which solvent? Beta, why don't you understand that you just check the solubility of the compound? So that means you know now in which solvent, particular solvent your compound is gonna dissolve. So you will use that compound only. That's why we are doing the solubility test before that, because we wanted to know the nature of the compound and in which solvent, particular solvent, whether in ethyl alcohol, in a hexane, in water, whatever solvent it is getting dissolved, you are going to make the solution of your compound in that particular solvent. Am I clear to you now?
Yes.
How you are going to make the solution? Whenever it's written solution of, now in the next also reaction with bromine water, solution of the compound. That means again in the same solvent in which your compound was fully dissolved, right? Now you know why I made you see in the list it's not there. I added it over before this test, before these unsaturation tests. You need to know the solubility of your organic compound. In this way, your this first step, which we call it the preliminary examination, will be finished. This is how your preliminary examination is done after performing all these 6-7 tests. Did you got it?
Yes.
This is how you are going to do now. Just go with it. Great. This is how they are working here in the lab, the girls and the boys. They're working. I can show you how they're working. Students are working as well as they are doing they're making their journals also. They're performing the tests, different tests that are being, as they are now doing their first step, that is the preliminary examination. So this is how they are doing their, we have these acids lying here, compound which they are identifying. Meanwhile they are working making the journals also. Our lab assistant Mr. Irfan is very nice. He's helping me a lot in doing everything. I appreciate his efforts. This is how my lab goes on. It's an 8:30 a.m. lab, the morning lab. And alhamdulillah, my students are working in a very nice way. The girls are working.